And Michael, you and I met through AC, actually Christensen. But I was trying to remember where that was that we did that Orange Theory class together.
Well, I mean, we were in the Orange Theory class together, and I think we got kind of we're past each other, and then the next thing I remember is we were at Lost Lake taking hot shots of tequila.
That was in Chicago. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. At a tiki bar.
Yeah. One of the best tiki bars in the country.
Yeah.
Well,
And we were drinking tequila because
yeah. Well, it was the night before Ashley won the world, and at least I kind of felt like, I felt like she deserved it, and was kind of felt the momentum, and so it was like, I don't know, I felt like you and me and that crowd over there at Lost Lake was like really in a good place. It was a lot of fun.
Well, we were in a good place because I don't remember much about Lost Lake that night, except being the asshole who buys tequila shots at a tiki bar.
And then here, and like you're like, you won the award for guest of the year. I felt like we were just really good with the food and so thoughtful about the feedback, and it was just such a wonderful experience to have you here and feel that way, and of course, I'm a fan of you and I'm a fan of the band, and it was like a really wonderful moment for me to have you here and then come to the show, and it's just.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Although the feeling is definitely mutual. You're by far one of my top favorite chefs in all of America. Olame is my favorite restaurant to go to on the road by far. The best meal of 2020 was at Olame. Easily.
Well, I hope I don't screw that up today.
Yeah. Well, yeah. This is gonna be a lot of fun.
I think I've got everything scaled and ready to go today, guys. So if anybody, I'll go ahead and have my chat window open too. Sorry, I haven't had it yet. And I will try to answer questions too. I got plenty of, we're going to move it along, but I got plenty of time. Everything's scaled, so there should be plenty of space for us to chat and talk about why and how and all that good stuff. There's a ton of information in this sandwich, which is, things that look simple are never that simple, or hopefully at least when we touch them are not that simple. So the first things that we want to do today is we want to make sure our oven is turned on to 375 degrees. And if you are someone who has a convection fan in your oven, let's go ahead and turn it on high.
Done.
Well, what we'll do is get out your large pot and your canola oil. And we're going to go ahead and put that on the stove now, because oil takes a long time to come up to temperature. And you're going to fill it, I would say, about 4 fingers is about where mine's at. And I'll show you all what mine looks like. I've got a fancy induction cooker over here. But this is what my pot looks like. And make sure that we have something to fish our chicken out of our pot. This is, we call it a spider in our world.
Yeah, those Breville things are nice.
They're so
induction.
So fancy and so I highly recommend them. They get ripping hot. They control temperature really well. They're really fine pieces of equipment.
Yeah. What temp do you want this oil on?
And we're going to take the oil also at 375 degrees.
Okay.
So pretty straightforward today. Everything's at 375 degrees.
Ready.
I'm going to grab one thing real quick. I'm going to start gathering for our brine. So, Joe, I didn't send over instructions on a brine, but I figured we could go ahead and do it. And then everybody got it. And I think there's like one trick to the brine that not a lot of folks know that I'd like to share. So, I think we'll start on that now. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and get 2 cups of water. And small pot. We'll dump our water in our pot. Then I've got a 1/4 cup of honey. Goes into the pot too. So I use, in this recipe, I use honey. This is actually a play on the Bouchon ad hoc chicken brine, lemon and thyme focus. It's kind of a standard brine that a lot of us have adopted. They kind of made it the industry standard. And then we're going to take half of one of our lemons, cut it in half, squeeze that into there too. And then we're going to take about half of a head of garlic. The way I do it is I take the top off, like that, and then we'll cut it in half. Usually we make a little bit bigger batch than the whole clove, but so the garlic goes in. We're going to get about 2 tablespoons of black peppercorn.
I think we have some of this. Yeah. Oh. 2 tablespoons of black peppercorns.
About 2.
That goes in the water.
Oh, the whole thing? How much time did you put in, Michael?
2 sprigs. About
2 sprigs?
Yeah, about that much. 2 big sprigs.
And you put both tablespoons of peppercorn in the water?
Yes, sir. And now the part to talk about, I think, is the salt. So the salt is what is going to flavor our. The garlic is just half a head.
Just half a head.
Yeah. And then the salt is 5.5 tablespoons. This is about 10% of the volume of water that we're going to end up with. What we're doing is we're putting in half of the volume of water that we need to execute the recipe for the brine. We're going to bring it up to a boil, and then we're going to pour ice over it. What that'll enable us to do is cool the brine really fast so that we can drop the chicken in it. A lot of times when people make brine, they have to wait a long time for it to cool. So you sub half of your water with ice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it cuts it in half. It's like a super kind of cheap. You know?
Yeah. So do we put the salt in now?
Yes, salt now. So 5.5 tablespoons of salt right now.
5.5 tablespoons.
And this is 10% of the volume of water total. And so I like to use, for my proteins, I like to use a 10% brine if I'm going to go 24 hours. And then if you need to or want to go longer, let's say you want to brine something and then you know you're not going to cook it for a couple days, you could go ahead and lower your percentage of salt to water. So like if you wanted to go on a 48-hour brine, you could back it off to 6%.
Okay, got it. So put this on the stove now?
Put it on the stove now and let's get it boiling. You can just turn it on high and let it rip. You can bring up brines as fast as we can. We don't really worry about stewing them or anything like really. And just so everybody knows, the salt is the key here. And what the salt does is it captures the flavor molecules and it goes in. There are graphics online of this. That like the salt and the water. The salt attaches to the water and it carries the flavorings into the meat and out of the meat while it's brining.
Science.
Diffusion.
Everybody should read Harold McGee. I think he just put out a new book too.
Is this the like food scientist or something?
On Food and Cooking is the name of the book, and it's like required reading for I think every
Nice.
school out there. Okay, so now we'll go with we'll debone our chicken.
All right.
So we'll do a couple of thighs. I've got two cutting boards on top of each other here, so I can presto changeo. Okay,
Yep,
so
same here.
we pull the skin off for this particular item. I don't usually pull skin off of fried chicken personally, but for this we like to take it off.
Okay.
And this is so chicken thigh is probably my favorite, one of my favorite cuts in the world. I think in order of preference for me, it's ribeye, then chicken thigh. Beef ribeye, then chicken thigh. So we're gonna cut off any fat that's hanging out once we pull our skin off. And then we're going to turn them over. So you'll see will be a flat side. This is your flat side, and then this is your, we'll call it the interior side. So the bone is sticking up. And all you're going to do is follow the side of that bone with your knife. And then you'll see if you follow the side, both sides of the bone down, and you'll get to a place where my brine is boiled. Is yours up, Joe?
Mine is almost there.
Okay. I'm gonna drop my ice.
So how much ice are we doing?
It's gonna be 2 cups of ice.
2 cups of ice. Is there a by weight on that or just 2 cups?
It's so 4 cups of water weighs 1,000 grams, and we put in 10 grams of salt. I converted everything for this to tablespoons and teaspoons because we use grams on everything.
Yeah, I use grams on everything too.
So everybody at home, you can see how I've got this bone essentially. See how the bone is out right here? And you can see where my finger is going, you can take your knife under there. And what you'll do is just separate that bone from the meat. And then once you've got it separated, you just follow it down. And I'm going to do another one for anybody who wants to follow along.
The replay.
Yep. So,
what about the little piece of cartilage? Take that out, yeah?
Yep. Totally just we butchered it.
Yeah, I butchered mine poorly. But it'll taste good.
And we'll follow the bone down.
Okay. Yeah. So mine's done now. 2 cups of ice, you said?
Yes, sir.
Just dump it right in, yeah?
Take it off the stove and dump it right in. Now, for the purposes of, if you were going to brine, we would drop this chicken into the brine for 24 hours. And then we'd move on with the rest of the outing.
Got it.
For the sake of today, I'm going to move on.
Quick brine today?
Yeah, we're quick brining today. And there's another, if you got a vacuum sealer at home, you could go ahead and vacuum seal this chicken with a brine, and you could cut the time in about, a quarter to a half.
Oh, okay.
if I'm in a pit in the restaurant and like a product shows up late in the day and I need to get some brine in it, I'll vacuum seal it all together.
So this brine should be kind of not very warm, right?
Right. Once your chicken goes in, you're not very warm. If you drop any proteins in brine that's too hot, you can tell it's too hot because the albumin, the proteins, they cloud.
Tighten up, yeah. So if it's too hot still, should I add more ice?
If it's still hot, you can add a little bit more ice. Mine's still a little hot too.
Oh boy, oil's too hot too. Take my oil down. My oil got too hot.
I got this fancy machine over here. It keeps me from getting in trouble.
So you say if it is too hot, just add some more ice?
Yes, sir. You can add just a little bit. Basically any ice that you add is going to dilute your salt. So it'll back your flavor off just a little bit.
So what are we shooting for, like a 50-degree brine or what?
I just think like if it's not warm to the touch, it's fine.
So if it's lukewarm, it'll probably be fine.
Like, okay, now here's like at home, what I would say at home is like the chicken's pretty, so they'll balance each other out.
Yeah. Okay, so drop the chicken in the
brine.
Done. Just let it sit there, yeah?
Yeah, you just let it work. Let it, yeah. By work, I mean sit there.
Okie doke.
Now we're gonna make some biscuits.
All right.
So I like to do it on a big cutting board. I like to have a rolling pin. There's also, I like a really thick, big rolling pin for this job too. But this one is great for today. I'm gonna grab my flour real quick.
Okay.
All right. So the key to making good biscuits is it's cold. That's the key to everything in this process. The colder your products are, the more the structure of the biscuit's going to hold together better. So if I keep flour at home, sometimes I'll keep it in the fridge if I know I'm going to make biscuits. That way it's already there for me. So today we're going to do 6 cups of flour. This is all-purpose flour. I use Arthur. That's what we use in the restaurant for this particular item. All-purpose flour, 6 cups. Oh, I had something in my brain that I wanted to tell you. It'll come back. But so we start with that, and then we add 2.5 teaspoons of kosher salt. And you can just dump it in because we're going to whisk it all together.
2.5 of kosher?
Yes, sir.
5. This is 6. I'm losing count here while I'm
6.5, right?
6.5 cups of flour? 6. I lost that lot. Your voice cut out.
Just 6.
Just 6. Okay. And then 2.5 teaspoons of salt.
That's correct.
Okie doke.
Okay, and then we're gonna do 3¼ I'm sorry, not 3¼ 3/4 0.75 teaspoons of baking soda.
Baking soda. 0.75.
It looks like about that much.
Okay.
Now we're going to do 5 teaspoons of baking powder.
Oh,
You need to get some more of that.
I think there's some out there. Nope, I'm good.
All right.
All right.
Now we put all our dry ingredients in the bowl. And we just use a whisk to whisk it all. We just want it all evenly distributed. Whisk it in. Oh, that's what I was going to say. We don't sift this flour. A lot of baking applications use sift flour, but for this particular outing, we don't do it.
Okay. Eileen, it was baking powder, baking sodas. How many?
So baking soda is 0.75 teaspoon, and baking powder is 5 teaspoons.
5. Got it. Whisk it together.
Whisk it all together.
Done.
Done. Okay, now we take our butter. We're gonna have a pound of butter. Straight out of the fridge. If you're really focused on cold, out of the freezer.
A pound of butter.
1 pound of butter. That looks like about a pound.
That's a 8.8 ounces.
Oh, okay.
We have more.
Okay.
Wait, so is 1 box a pound?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
And then
1 box of butter.
another thing to remember is 1 pound is also a pint. So the way to remember that is a pint to a pound the whole world round.
Yep. Lori Strong asks, so sorry, how much baking powder?
5 teaspoons.
5 teaspoons, Laurie. So putting this in, chopped it up or what?
So I like to use a box grater.
Okay. Got it.
If you don't have a box grater, you want to dice it to about as small as you can get it. The ideal size for butter when you're making biscuits is like pea, like an English pea.
We're just grating this in.
You just grate it right in.
Cool.
You want to stop about 1/4 of the way, halfway, and 3/4 of the way, and just fold the flour over the butter.
And do you want to do that? Or fold the flour into the butter? You can grab
Like, so here's my butter piled up in my flour.
Yeah.
The flour poured over it. This enables us to keep the butter from all sticking together, and we get nice distribution.
Oh, okay, got it.
You got more?
Yeah, we gotta do both sticks of this. Want to keep folding it in?
Oh, sure.
I'll take the other part.
And
If we're like 0.8 ounces over on the butter, it's probably fine, right?
yeah, I think you're going to be just fine. So, and I also like a lot of times drop, like when I get to a point where the butter that I'm grating is like getting smaller and smaller, I drop it into the flour, so it's just a little bit easier to hold on to.
Nick Johnson asks, do you freeze the butter or do you just have it at refrigerator temp?
I keep it in the fridge, and then about 30 minutes before I'm going to grate it, I like to put it in the freezer.
Got it.
Sometimes I've frozen it too hard, and it's a real pain in the butt.
hard to grate. I have nice and soft skin today on my hands from the butter.
This is I think you'll recognize, everybody will recognize that this is a very high fat to flour recipe.
Yeah,
it is.
a lot of butter.
A lot.
Yeah, Olame is the house that butter built.
It looks delicious so far.
Yeah, this is going to turn out great. Mixing it up. And so after this, we're going to get our buttermilk out. Likewise with the
Wash.
I will
Wash my hands real quick.
Yeah.
Next up, buttermilk. Okay.
And likewise with the buttermilk, I like to, about 30 minutes before I'm going to make biscuits, I like to put it in the freezer just to get it extra cold.
Got it. All right. Buttermilk. Wow, this is a super high fat content.
Well, that's what enables us to get such crispy.
Yeah, for sure. Delicious. So do you want to kind of incorporate the flour a little bit? Or
So you want to just kind of move it all around. You can incorporate everything together, just working it together with your hands. Any of your butter that's stuck together, try to break it up just a little bit.
Got it.
This is what you should look like.
Okay.
Now I'm going to get the milk.
Now, is it true the less you touch it, the better?
At this point, it's not so bad. Like, you're not going to activate really any gluten without any of the moisture in there. So when I'm here, I don't worry about it too much.
Okay. Okay.
Buttermilk, that's when we need to start, the kind of the clock starts ticking.
Got it.
Once the buttermilk's in.
Can you pour me some rosé?
If you have a paper board or a bench scraper of any kind, that's really helpful right now.
Got it.
In buttermilk, we're going to do 3.5 cups.
3.5 cups
of buttermilk.
Just pour it directly in.
So what I do is I work it around here. I'll do it with the camera. What we do is we pour it around, take that bowl scraper, mix it together, and then do the rest. So, and the way I like to mix it is you take your bowl scraper, you down the side of the bowl, and lift from the bottom into the bowl. Everybody see how I'm coming towards the middle of the bowl? And then you can turn your bowl, come back the other way. So fully incorporate that buttermilk. Now you're going to come back and add the rest of your buttermilk. If you've got a little spatula, buttermilk is so thick it tends to stick to the side of your container. Now you'll take your bench scraper again, come back, and work it all together. So now what we're going to start doing is looking for the classic sense of shaggy mass. So we need this to come together. And sometimes when we've got everything really cold, it takes a second for it to come together because the moisture is frozen.
Okay, got it.
So once I've gotten all of the buttermilk in and we're kind of incorporating, I'm going to show you all what it looks like. So this is what it looks like. This is kind of our shaggy mass. So what we'll start to do now is bring it together with our hands. And I'll show you where we take it before we dump it out of the bowl.
Okay.
So this is where we are, Joe. We're gonna be gentle here. Just don't work it too hard. Don't push on it too hard. Be nice to it.
I'm still trying to get the buttermilk incorporated. Got some.
Good spot.
That's a good spot.
I think you can start working it with your hands.
Okay.
And you're just turning it over in the bowl with your hand. So Joe, I'm gonna move my computer screen down so you can see kind of how I do this.
Yeah. Technique is everything here.
Yeah. So basically, I come under it, and then I roll it over backwards. So you go under it, and then roll it over backwards. Under it, and roll it over backwards.
Okay. So not really kneading it much.
Not really kneading it, just kind of pushing down on it to get it to kind of come together in one mass.
Wow. This is some fatty biscuits. Holy cow.
All right.
Okay. Okay. It's starting to come together.
Yep.
Let me see yours, because mine looks really wet.
Let me get a quick rinse on these hands.
Could it be that I did not put enough flour in?
It could be just a little, yeah, it might be a little bit of a scale issue. Here's what mine looks like.
Yours looks like dough. Mine looks like dumplings.
It might be that your butter, how soft is your butter right now?
Not terribly. Like, I feel like I could use more flour.
Okay. And you can dust it with just, yeah, so you can dust it with a little bit of flour.
Okay.
And then bring it together. And your texture might be a little funny, but we'll get there.
Okay. We'll figure it out. I mean, it honestly is like, it's feeling really wet.
Yeah, yours, it's looking a little wet.
Yeah. So maybe I'll just add another cup of flour.
Yeah, I would dust it with some flour. I would dust it with about at least a quarter cup, maybe a half a cup to start.
Quarter cup, half a cup. Okay. Maybe I should have paid attention when I was putting the flour in the.
And some of that too. I'm kind of moving quick.
Yeah, I think I might have been 1 cup short on flour. I think I just counted wrong. Will you add another half a cup of flour?
I'm gonna sort of just sprinkle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's starting to look better.
We'll figure it out.
It's getting there.
Yeah, I still feel like yours was a lot drier.
Do you think we need more flour incorporated?
I think, yeah, let's add a little bit more flour.
So are those half cups or is that whole cups?
I think it's a half, but I never use it.
That's probably why. I think I put half the amount of flour, Michael.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we'll just that was, let's see, that was a cup and a half more. So I think we need to add like
Another cup.
Three more.
What does your dough look like, Michael?
This looks like a dough. Like it's
okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
We need more
more
flour. Yeah.
Let's add
You just keep incorporating it, and I'll just keep sprinkling.
Well, Michael, we've managed to already mess up this cookie demo. If it doesn't work out,
What are you gonna do?
it's because I don't know how to read the cup.
Well, look, this is one of the things I wanted to, like, for me as a cook, as a amateur cook, and then I was always so anxious about how things were going to turn out, and I think being okay with a little bit of a mistake is like the greatest thing you can do for yourself in life, maybe, but especially in cooking.
It's true in science too, turns out. Yeah. And probably music, I'm guessing.
I've spent a lot of time over the last few months trying to make myself less of a perfectionist.
Yeah, I struggle with that too.
Yeah.
Joe is usually like good at everything he tries, which is infuriating. Have you seen his breads? Yes, you're so good at stuff. That's usually. I think you don't want to work it too much, right? Because you don't want the butter to get too warm.
And the glutens, we don't want to.
Yeah, so I think
it looks pretty good.
So if we want to do a little autopsy on what I think happened was, like, yeah, with a little bit less flour, then as you worked it, the butter started to cream out. Like if you were to make cookies and stuff. So the butter started to cream out because your hands are a little bit warmer. And so that's my opinion about what happened there.
Yep. Well, and I only put in half the amount of flour to start with.
Like as you're adding the flour, it all kind of, yeah.
That's fine. We'll figure it out.
Delicious.
How not to make biscuits with Joe.
And now that you've got it into a place where it's kind of a mass,
yeah,
go ahead and get your board floured like I've got this.
All right.
And make sure you have some bench flour with you. And then we use a square biscuit cutter here. Also, we cut them with a chef's knife. So either, I'm going to show both ways.
You grab my scraper.
So then, yeah, what I do is I take my bench scraper and just roll my dough out. And then there's usually a little bit of flour in the bowl. That'll work on my first go. But we're going to continue to flour this dough so that it doesn't stick to the cutting board or the rolling pin. So once we've got it on the board, I like to try to get it into kind of a square shape. And then what we do is we take our rolling pin and we're just going to evenly press with both hands. You want a little flour on your rolling pin too. Sometimes the butter sticks to it. So we just roll it out like this. And once we've gotten it about that far, we take our bench scraper and we come at it like this. We scrape everything under. We're gonna fold it in half, y'all. And it's okay. You'll see I got a little rip in mine. That's no big deal. Like there's a little rip here at the fold. No big deal. We're still just kind of in a shaggy mass state. Basically, we're gonna do this 5 times, and by the 5th one, it'll be all together, and we'll start cutting it. So once I've folded it, I turn it again. That's the top. And what I like to do is fold it over and get underneath on the board too. Just a quick dust here, and then move it over. There's a lot of padding of the dough for me here.
Yeah, yeah.
Then we shape it again into another square or rectangle. And we roll it again. Then again, we're going to take the bench scraper, fold it over itself, like that. To move it over, dust the board a little bit, dust the top, flip it. So each time you're folding, you're turning. And for those of you that have made like laminated dough, this should feel pretty familiar. It's like to me, it's kind of like the country version of laminated dough.
Right.
Kind of like puff, you know. If you're a Great British Baking Show watcher like me, it's a fine puff.
I haven't watched that show. I've watched like 4 episodes, and every episode they're so freaking polite. Like no one ever gets mad on that show, do they?
That is 100% why I watch it. I think it's like
yeah.
There's also this British gardener named Monty Don. You as a gardener, I think would absolutely love this guy. Like it's all positive. He goes to people's houses and shows them how to do it. It's really
nice.
Cool. Okay, so this is my third turn. That. So a fold, turn, a dusting, a flip, and another dusting. Making sure our rectangle is coming together nicely. For the folks at home, this is what mine looks like up close. You can kind of see the butter is dispersed out throughout it, and you can kind of see that it's still holding the same shape.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. Full turn. That's 4. We got 1 more.
So this is developing the glutens as well, yeah?
Yeah. So for us, we believe that 5 turns is kind of the right spot.
And that was number 4, yeah?
Yep.
Is that 4? I think we're at 4 right now. You're at 4, right, Michael?
I'm at 4. This is my 5th one right here. So I am complete.
Pretty sure I'm also at 5 now.
So what we're going to do is really dust everything, dust your board well. With flour. And then now what I like to do is I take the rolling pin and I just kind of punch the sides of it to get a nice square shape.
Yep.
But the more square we are right now, when we roll it out, we'll be able to get more yield out of this.
Okay. I mean, I can use my bench scraper too, yeah?
For the last roll, I make sure that I got a good amount of flour on my board. A good amount of flour on the dough. Square myself up with my rolling pin, my hands. And at this point, everybody, we'll see, like I've got a little bit of cracking here. It's not like that's great. Like to me, they're handmade and they should look handmade. So
Got it.
I don't want all of them to look perfect, you know? So now we're going to roll it out our last time. And this, the only thing now is like, we're just worried about our thickness. So I think about, you know, what for us, I'll show you, we keep a ruler around here that we use, that we've marked off. So this little, the top of this black stripe is what we use. It's about 1.25 inches. So I come with the ruler, I compare it. If it needs to be a little taller, I just kind of push it together a little bit.
I think ours needs to be a little taller.
Yeah, it's rolling out better because the butter creamed.
Yeah. Let's see. I have a ruler.
Should I open the chat and see if there are questions?
They're I think they're all, oh. Let me go grab a ruler real quick.
Okay.
You said like 1.25 inches, right?
Yeah.
Yep. And like,
oh,
in my opinion,
man. Look at that.
in my opinion, like 1.25 inches or higher. I don't like it when they're too thin,
Got it.
because then it makes you feel insecure about how well if you don't get a lot of rise, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So now we're ready to cut our biscuits. We cut a 3-inch square for the biscuit sandwiches. And when you're using a cutter, it's really important to drop it in flour before each punch. So the flour coats the edge of your cutter and it enables you to keep from pinching. So a lot of times when you make biscuits, if you don't flour that cutter, it'll grab the top of the biscuit and the bottom of the biscuit and it'll pinch them together and you won't get any rise.
Got it. So if we're at like 7.5 inches wide, so should I just go with a 3.25 inch width biscuit?
Yeah. And like, so for us, Joe, just so you know, like the trim that we have, what we end up doing, we turn it into cinnamon rolls, or so we try to be very diligent about our yield, but we always invariably have a little bit of trim.
Got it.
For it, but I think for you, yeah, just go ahead and cut them just a little bigger, no big deal. So then, when you're cutting the biscuits with your cutter, you got to get everything. I like to push everything. You get it even. Try to push down as evenly on all sides as you can. And then you give it a little jiggle. Like that. And out they come. I got a little pinch.
Yeah.
Should be okay though.
I've got a little bit of a sticking issue on my blade here.
Yeah, if you just give it a little dust too, it should be a little better.
You know who Mike Lee is? Michael?
No, who's that?
He's a sushi chef in Durham, North Carolina.
Oh.
He gave me this knife as a going away gift.
So here, I'll cut off my trim here, and then I'll show you all how I do it with the knife too. Just a little dusting on the knife, and then.
And do we square these up a little bit?
Yeah,
like
just a little bit. And also too, like if you the biscuit trim that you have, like keep it, put it in the freezer. You could use it like for family meal. We make pizza out of it.
Whoa.
You really do just about anything with it. Also in the past, we've like rolled them into little balls and steamed them, which is delicious.
Wow.
So it's like a dumpling dough?
Into little balls and fried them, which is about as sinful as it sounds, you know.
Heck yeah. Sounds like that Italian dessert was a. Okay. These are coming together nicely. I have 8. How many do you have?
I've only got 4 right now. Not really. I would probably fire myself.
I love you, man. I'd have been fired when I made the dough, so you're ahead of me. I wonder if I can cut this in half and join them together.
Well, so you can actually, so like what we'll do is the first round of trim, we roll it back together and cut it one more time.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just going to let this one see what happens to it. It'll be our little ugly biscuit. There we go.
All right.
2, 4. So you got 6 biscuits out of it.
You got 6 out right now.
Okay. I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9.
Whatever you don't want to cook today, you can just throw in the freezer too. And then when you want, you can just cook them straight from frozen.
Okay. Are we still petting these or what?
Yeah. Put them on a silk pack.
Okay. Look at that. What was it? $3.75. How far apart do we have to put these?
You want to space them pretty, about 1.5 inches apart.
Okay.
Like this little half tray that I'm using right now, I'm only going to put 3 on.
Got it. So with this,
so like
we'll just put 6 on this tray.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how we would do it.
Okay.
And then we're going to go into the oven for 17 minutes.
Okay. Go ahead and put it in.
Go ahead and go in.
Done. I'm going to freeze these.
And let's go ahead and set a timer for 8 minutes and we'll turn them.
Okay. Set an 8-minute timer.
Okay. 8 minutes.
The modern technology watch timer.
I know we're in this weird place where like they're so useful during the day. Your phone is so useful during the day, but at the same time you worry that people are distracted.
Uh-huh.
I think we're gonna go back to just written recipes only. So just clean it up a little bit now. Big cleanup.
All right.
Okay. Get this stuff out of the way. Right. I'm a huge stickler about the floors here. These floors are destroyed right now.
What about them? Do you like your floors to be super clean? Is that what you're saying?
Clean. They're always. That's like the first thing I talk about when I walk in the door. Pretty much every time. All right. Now we're gonna make some honey butter.
Honey butter.
Honey butter. And I'm gonna show you a trick. So
Let's see.
I've got some butter.
Ryan.
Sorry,
Ryan Davis asks, what was the amount of buttermilk again? Had to make a quick grocery run.
Buttermilk was 3.5 cups. Wait, hold on.
3.5 cups. That's right.
So I've got some butter that I've tempered. But Joe, have you ever tempered butter in the microwave?
No.
I'll show you how to do it right now. It's a huge, huge win. So just go ahead and dice like a 1/4 pound of butter.
Dice 1/4 pound, you said?
Yep. So I just chunk it out to like yay big.
Yeah.
And then you put it in a microwave safe bowl.
Okay.
And then what you'll do is you'll turn it on for 10 seconds. And then you'll take a spoon or a spatula and move it around a little bit. Turn it on for 10 seconds. Take a spatula and a spoon, move it around a little bit, and just do that do it in like 10-second increments.
Yeah.
And butter is soft.
Okay.
This is a trick I learned per se of all places. I'm like, we have a microwave? And we did. You had to know where it was though. It was like in this cabinet, in this corner, like totally hidden away.
So 10 seconds, give it a little stir.
Yep.
Ten seconds didn't really do anything because I got a pretty weak microwave.
Great.
Still pretty hard. So Michael, while I'm doing this, do you want to talk about the charity that you were telling me about?
So the nonprofit that I am so grateful that you're engaging with is called Good Work Austin. It's an organization that was started a few years ago in order to help restaurants navigate healthcare, improvements for workforce, just basically resources for people who work in restaurants as well as people who operate restaurants. And then when the pandemic happened, Good Work became this information gateway for all of us. Texas Work, they really helped us understand the Texas Workforce Commission process for mass layoffs. Everyone in the city of Austin that I'm aware of in March laid off every individual more or less every individual they had on their staff. And then also helped us navigate PPP process. And then when the storm hit Austin, they sprang into action and started coordinating meals for shelters.
Oh, wow.
So the weekend directly after the storm, Good Work Austin was more or less responsible for about 30,000 meals in the city of Austin.
Holy smokes.
Over that 4-day period from Friday to Monday.
That's intense.
And it's really great because now, now the organization has been so successful at helping everybody that now there is momentum behind them. They're hiring an executive director. It's just it's a resource that those of us who are operators and restaurateurs recognize that we need to organize. We need to have resources that give us information better, all these things. So That looks pretty good. Is it a little lumpy?
No, pretty smooth.
Awesome.
So how would people find out more about that charity?
I'll type the webpage into the chat.
Okay. Yeah, everyone should go check this out. I did a quick browse before we started up just to see everything that they're doing, and I was impressed at the amount of work that has already gone on. And yeah, if everyone feels so inclined to donate a little bit of money and whatever you can to help support an organization that's helping my friends out, you know, that would be lovely. I would love that.
The restaurants have been just decimated this last year. So
yeah.
Okay, so we've got some tipper butter, and this is a thing that we have at the restaurant that people are constantly commenting about. They love the honey butter. How do we do it? It is quite literally honey and butter. That is all. So what I do is I just take the honey, dump it over the butter, and just start whisking it together.
Was that like 2 tablespoons?
Taste. So I just do it. Actually, I do it by the color of the, usually by the color of the butter itself. But it's kind of interesting. The honey has. This is a local honey from a man who came here from Chile. His name's Vergara. He's this incredible beekeeper who we've become friends with over the years. And sometimes the honey is a little more sweet, sometimes it's a little less sweet. So it's funny. Sometimes I'll look at a batch of honey butter and think that it's going to be, there's too much honey in it because it's too dark. And then I'll taste it and it'll be fine. This is one thing that we've made every day in the restaurant for going on 7 years. And there's
every time.
There's no written recipe.
Nice. All right. I just turned my biscuits.
Awesome.
We got to the 8-minute mark.
So what I like to do is just mix it together and just taste it.
I'm gonna have Emily taste test mine.
I don't like it to be saccharine. I like it to be like just slightly sweet.
Okay. Good. Yeah, let me see your biscuits, Michael. That sounded a little dirty. Let me see your biscuits, Michael. Yours look better than mine.
I'm going to show you a trick here in a minute, too.
We're going to pretend like mine look like that, too. I'm going to have to redo this whole thing after we're done just to get the biscuits right.
Let's just keep doing it. Okay, so our honey butter is done.
Honey butter done.
Done. Now, here is the classic 3-step breading process. So what I've got here, and this is too much. You guys don't need this much. I just did a lot because it's easy to be in. These are the containers that we use. So, but this is just plain all-purpose flour. There's no measurement. It's just not seasoned, nothing. It's just all-purpose flour.
Okay.
This is buttermilk. Again, not seasoned, nothing special. Just straight up buttermilk. And this is black pepper that's been ground with a pepper mill and salt with all-purpose flour.
Oh, okay.
And when I'm at home to test the pepper, I don't know if you can see it very well, but the pepper is so, you can see it.
What's the proportions you got on that?
It is here. Actually, I should have a recipe for you real quick.
AP flour, salt, and black pepper.
I,
Oh, I didn't know you poured
sorry, I don't have the access to that recipe right now. But what I would do is I would just work the pepper mill until you can see black specks throughout your flour.
it. Okay.
And then
Yeah.
what I do is add a little salt too. So what I, like since we're at home, what I do is like I'll take my finger and just wet the end of my finger and touch the flour and then taste it. I want to taste a little bit of pepper and a little bit of salt.
Got it. Probably need more pepper.
I think Joe, you're probably going to want to put a little bit more flour there too. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you a trick.
Okay. Okay.
Salt.
Cool.
Alrighty.
So what you can do now is you can take your thighs, drop them into your plain old all-purpose flour. You let those sit there for a second. Now, what I like to do is what I call this like chicken shag. Basically, what we're gonna do is we're gonna like when you go to KFC or actually better when you go to Beasley's.
There you go.
Way better. When you go to Beasley's,
Way better.
like there's the chicken has like these craggy things that hang off of it.
Yeah.
Chicken has those, and so
Yeah.
that we accomplish that is by taking a little bit of buttermilk and pouring it into the flour, pepper, salt mix, just a really light stream. And then we take our hands and we work the buttermilk into the flour. And what I like to do is like between my palms.
No. Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, look where his chicken is.
I'll show you what mine looks like in just a second.
So you're almost creating little pieces of crust.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're doing. I learned this trick at Son of a Gun. You know,
so they kind of hold on.
yeah, exactly.
Got it.
So here's mine. And you can see it's starting to come together. Add a little bit more buttermilk. Okay. So when I cooked at Pools in like 2017, 16 or 17, I had a dish that I was doing, and I was like kind of doing a play on fried chicken, and so I made Ashley go with me over to Beasley's and pull some of these Crispies out of the fryer over there so I could garnish them on my dish.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
Yeah, it's just like, what are you doing, dude?
So do you then dredge your chicken in the buttermilk and then
Yep.
that?
Well, what we'll do. So this is what here. I'm going to show you what my black pepper salt mix looks like. See how it's like kind of shaggy?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Ours
We
is
don't
nice.
have a ton of buttermilk, so we're being
Yeah.
really like
You can
ambitious.
put a little bit of water.
Water.
Yeah. Or regular milk.
We have half and half. Will that work? Hey, Michael, will half and half work?
Sorry, Emily.
Will half and half work?
Yeah, half and half would be fine.
Let's do this first. And then let's see what happens.
All right.
I think that'll be fine. Get a little bit of buttermilk and. Oh, that's the timer going off now. The next 8 minutes. So does that mean our biscuits are done?
Should be done.
I'm gonna be ashamed of what my biscuits look like. I don't want to show them to anybody.
They may take just a little bit longer because it's a home oven. So
They're not done.
okay. No problem. So as you can see, like I've coated my chicken in just the plain all-purpose flour, just a nice even coating.
Yep.
And we'll just drop the buttermilk. Gloves are good if you got them, but I'm just cowboying it right now.
Yep. Okay. Just get it nice and coated in the buttermilk.
Coated, and then you're going to go into your mix here, and then put your over it. So just take all of your shaggy black pepper, salt, flour.
Yep.
Put it over it, and then push down.
Yep.
And then.
Oh, look how shaggy it is.
Yeah, right?
Oh, look at that.
You can actually
I don't know if you
freeze.
can see it.
So there you go.
So then what do you do?
My timer's going off. I'm going to pull my biscuits real quick.
This is not a method that
Or using
No, I haven't either.
Oh, it's just, oh, there goes my headphones.
You want to try this one?
No, it's okay. When you take this out.
Take what out? Oh,
And these are gonna be so good.
Yeah, this is like the fried chicken trick that like when I learned it, I was like, oh, it really opened my eyes.
So now we're just gonna drop this in the oil, yeah?
Exactly. So now we'll just take it and gently put it over this tray, and then I'll got it phone. And I just gently place it in the oil. We got one more to do real quick.
Our oil temp dropped a little too much, so we're gonna wait a little bit.
Okay.
But that's fine because this is already amazing looking. That is a shaggy piece of chicken. How are those biscuits looking?
they're getting there.
Ugly?
They're definitely, they don't look as good as Michael's, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, because I messed it up.
You gotta remember not to use that as a cup. I've done that before too.
I know. I just remembered it.
Yeah. I don't think they're like golden enough yet.
Our biscuits aren't getting very brown yet, so we're gonna wait a little longer.
No problem.
So you already dropped your chicken, yeah?
Chicken's in. It's working. Moving along. And you can drop yours too. Like once your oil's hot, you can drop it. It can like the chicken will hold temperature pretty well until your biscuits are done.
All right.
Dude, I just want you to know that you're a way better cook like than I'm a cello player. So
That's not fair. You don't have to play cello to, survive. Everyone's got to eat.
Okay. So while your chicken's frying, I'm going to show you something. So these are the biscuits that we made and just put straight in the oven. So this is basically just mix them, put them in the oven. Check this out. This was done from frozen.
It's amazing.
Wait.
They freeze well.
Yeah, look how the structure is really nice. It's really square.
So do you freeze them?
So those are frozen.
Yeah.
So the ones that you froze will bake better than the ones that you didn't.
Interesting.
And that's a super secret technology. So everybody on this call.
We won't tell anyone. No one's allowed to tell anyone about that secret.
It was funny talking to AC about Ashley about it. It was like, well, we freeze them. And she goes, yeah, no kidding.
Holy smokes, these look amazing.
And depending on how clean your oil is, the color of the chicken will be different. Like in restaurant settings, a lot of times we'll use fryer oil kind of 2 days in a row. Good places use it kind of depending on volume, of course, but like when we run the biscuit shop, we do the oil every other day.
Every other day?
Every other day.
Holy cow, you guys must go through a lot of oil.
Well, I mean, we go through a fair amount, but it just the quality, once the oil gets too, like basically, if you can't see a dime in 2 inches of oil,
Then it's time to go.
yeah, it starts like a lot of times when you go to like a place and like that there's that term like really greasy fried chicken. It's usually because they haven't traded their oil out, and the oil is degraded so much that it's
not sweet. Ah.
So here's mine. We're getting close.
Mine's getting pretty close.
More or less when it's done. We'll give it just a couple more.
So how many minutes would you say it should spend in there?
Mine were pretty cold when they went in, so I'm going to give it about 6, 7, maybe 8.
Okay.
I've got a little thermometer here too, just in case. So I'll probably temp them when I pull them out. Chicken is like 165. I'm more of a 155er. But if you pull it at 155, it'll carry.
And then give up.
So it's like,
Got it. When we're in Japan, dude, they serve chicken pretty much medium rare. And that kind of shocked me. I was like, oh, it's pink in the middle still. I don't think it's cooked. And they're like, oh, no, that's how you eat it. Like,
I mean, I think it's like perfect when it's like just cooked past slimy.
Just cooked past slimy is what I like that too. But this chicken that we had was just cooked slimy.
Oh, really?
It kind of blew my mind. And I didn't know that was a thing there. But the inside was still very much like eating sweet shrimp, where you bite it and it just kind of falls.
Was it a Blackfoot chicken?
I don't remember, to be honest with you.
I've heard of Blackfoot chicken being served like in the style of like sashimi or barely cooked.
Yeah. Our biscuits are like this big.
Oh, right on.
They're huge.
Oh, spread out. Yeah, so that the reason that they did that is because your butter just got too hot.
Okay. So next time I'm going to use a little 30 minutes cold butter. I'll use the right amount of flour. Cold bowl, cold flour.
Yep.
We're going to try this again tomorrow, probably. Chicken breast left.
Let's do like in 4 months. Come back and do it again.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah.
And this time I won't take any direction. We'll just sit here and make it and chat.
Yeah, that'd be great. And we could we'll cook something else to put in it other than chicken.
Love that idea. These look so good.
All right, let me see where I'm at.
This is what I've been dreaming about online.
Oh yeah, I'm cooking.
The little Almost Biscuits like Instagram feed is giving me major homesickness for the South. So I'm excited about this.
That account, it became that it was a crazy thing. I mean, in 6 months we went from 0 followers to like almost 9,000, which is, I don't know. I'm not an Instagram expert by any stretch, but as you could probably tell, but that was a mind-blowing thing for us. You know, the response was incredible, and the coolest thing about it all was that it was like none of the same people that follow Olame. So we really have like the biscuit shop has it's really exciting for me because the demographic is so much more broad. It's all kinds of folks from all kinds of backgrounds. You know, that's been one of my challenges at Olame from day one is, you know, we're on West Austin is a well-to-do part of town that is homogenous, and my dining room historically has just not had as much as many kind of folks from all over as I would like. And so the biscuit shop is so approachable for everybody that like the people that were buying it were like a whole new group for us, which is like just awesome, you know?
Yeah,
so
that's wonderful.
Look, we want to cook for everybody. We don't want to just cook for rich people, you know?
Yeah, and that's hard to do when you're doing finer dining. We're having a bit of our house is really small, so we're having a bit of a like fire alarm issue. It's like living in an apartment.
Same.
Real?
Our house
Our carbon monoxide detector is going off.
that causes our children both to start screaming and crying, just that beep. So
Yeah.
I'm standing under the smoke detector with a towel.
Yep.
Oh, no, you don't have to cry. Everything's okay. Everything's okay.
We usually have a magazine just for that purpose, but I'm gonna try this next time.
It's like a little North Carolina, a little Petey Pablo.
Oh yeah, PB Pablo. You know, I met him once.
Oh yeah,
I called everybody I knew.
that's cool.
I met PB Pablo. Yeah, I'm gonna try to figure this out.
Those look great.
Hey Ellen, your biscuits are gonna seep some butter. That's totally cool.
Yeah, Eileen is one of our regulars. She works out with us every live class.
Oh right on. Sorry, Eileen.
I'm glad she's here to have a cheat meal, chicken biscuit day. We have like 2 biscuits that'll like pass.
Okay.
And then the others kind of like. That's okay though.
If you look, mine also did the same, right? Like, you know, see how this.
Yeah.
This is the one that was cooked from.
Oh, wow. So those were cut the same size. So freezing them really makes a big difference. Huge difference.
Way better.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know. So we're done now, yeah?
Yeah.
Now we just plate.
Assemble. It's time to assemble.
I'm gonna watch you assemble because my biscuits still aren't very golden brown yet, and I'm wondering if my oven is just not really accurate temp wise.
So that's like, for me, like people want to buy biscuits from us all the time and take them home and cook them themselves, and we try not to do it because we don't know what the home oven's really like, you know. And invariably, like when I bring them home from here, they don't cook it all the right way.
Right.
You know, unless you've got like a commercial oven, it's really pretty tough to get as good a product. You get something really great, but to get it like, you know.
Perfect. Yeah.
They're looking pretty good.
They're all right.
They're fatty.
They'll be fine. They smell delicious.
Oh yeah, they don't look terrible. That'll work. Oh, you got some layers.
Yeah, we got some layers. I'm moving back over here. Okay.
Okay.
This is Emily's anniversary right here.
Do you ever drink this wine, Michael?
Yeah. Oh, what is that?
Yamastoy chocolate.
No.
Oh, it's so good. I'll send you a picture of the label.
Please do.
It's delicious. It's
Okay.
our kind of spring wine.
So we cut them just a little thicker on the bottom. See?
Oh my God, flaky. Holy cow. Look at that.
All right.
Woo!
Still a little hot. So biscuits, when they're like your other ones, when you cut them, they won't tear. See how the inside is kind of torn?
Yeah.
So if you let them cool just a little bit more, they won't do that.
Right.
So then we just take, this is a very simple sandwich. We just take the chicken, put it on top of the biscuit, and we take the honey butter. We take an obscene amount.
A generous amount.
Yes. And we just put it on top of the chicken.
Of course. Because there's definitely not enough fat in this chicken yet.
Exactly.
Or the biscuit. This is
all works.
opportunity.
It all
This is
works.
why we're-
It's cheat day.
This is why we work out.
Yeah, that's true. And that's it.
I mean, I got to take a picture of this guy.
Yours looks good, man.
Look at this. Woo!
It's great.
Man, that looks like a biscuit, chicken biscuit to me. I'm going to take a picture. I'll also take a picture of you, Michael. Say cheese, Michael. I can't see your face though.
I'm gonna.
Nice. So do you serve it like this? You don't cut it or anything, yeah?
This is how we serve it. Yep. And I like we'll cut them in half if we're sharing them, or well, I'll take them out of the box and cut them in half if I'm sharing with somebody. But yeah, we just serve it like a big old. This is $10, and it's pretty filling. And we use chicken from this very close friend of mine named Jane, who has Dewberry Hills Farm chicken, and it's some of the best chicken I've ever had. It's really amazing, and it's up in Lee County, real close to here.
I haven't had chicken since October. Because, I've been plant-based.
You've been plant-based, right?
But I'm going to eat this. Because it looks amazing.
The butter's coming off. That's what the butter's supposed to do. It's supposed to drip right off of there.
Oh my God.
It's so good.
Did it work? Yeah! Anybody in the chat? Did we do okay?
Wow. Wow. Now I need to come to Austin and have one of your biscuits. And wow. That's so good.
That was really good.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and promote all these attendees over to participants here, panel, so that they can show us their biscuits if they made them.
Yes, please.
You don't have to if you don't want to. Wow, that is
You should
strong.
put flour all over your face.
We gotta turn this way.
Put it in your hair or on your face.
Yeah, this way.
All right, let's see it, everyone.
Lori, those look good.
Oh, see,
We can show our biscuits. Here, I'll show you a chicken. Yeah.
Oh, Lori, those are good. I like your. Do you have a fluted cutter?
That's a stone cutter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. One time for Valentine's Day, we cut them to heart shape.
Oh, that's fun.
It was definitely cheesy.
Oh yeah.
That was really fun.
Come in.
Let's see yours, Christina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christina, I think if you roll it a little thicker, you'd be in a better spot. Yeah.
Sorry.
I do have some thicker ones. This is a smaller one, but some of them are pretty thick.
Oh, great.
Like this one. Like this one.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
perfect.
Jennifer said I just
Hey,
watched
honey,
today.
come here.
Brian, we won't give up on you. We believe in you.
Right.
How do I get in here?
You get where?
I'm trying to show.
I won't give up on you, Brian. Not now, not ever.
You never use this. No idea, baby. You wanna? What do
They
they?
want to take a look at everybody's thing.
Oh yeah, that's how you do it. Start a video. Start a video. That's how you do it. Hit it now. You didn't hit it.
Here we go.
Hi. Hey, guys.
You know them.
I don't know how to do it.
We didn't cook long, but we learned a lot.
Eileen, that looks great.
Yeah, this is so good.
Yeah.
Do the top like you did before. Hit the top.
Look at that. That looks awesome.
What do you think?
That's good. You're doing it now.
There we go.
Sorry.
And there.
Oh, yeah, those are great.
It's a lot better than mine do.
Way to go.
And it's boneless, skinless, so it's not gonna taste. It tastes good, right?
So it's healthy.
Yeah.
It's healthy.
Yeah, baby.
I think so.
Well, thank you guys.
It's on the
Michael.
top.
Michael, that was awesome. That's a great
Thank you.
Yeah, this was a hell of an anniversary present for us. And for everyone, it's goodworkaustin.org. If you feel like donating, that would be great. Michael is so generous to donate his time and help us learn how to make these amazing biscuits that I've been pining over on Instagram and constantly staring at, and Emily's been drooling at the mouth for. And thank you everyone for showing up, and Michael for being here. And yes, let's reconvene in a few months. I'm going to practice a few of them, and we'll show off our biscuit skills.
I love it.
Michael, thank you.
I really appreciate y'all coming along. It was really fun. I will. Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you guys so much. That's awesome.
Thank
That was
you.
really awesome. That like shaggy buttermilk in the salt and pepper flour, like that's a game changer.
That's pro tip right there.
Totally. So those are like that, and then y'all should use that. And then the other thing I learned recently on chicken wings, if you just take the chicken wings and you dust them lightly in flour, and then let them sit out for an hour, they fry up.
Okay.
Just a simple dusting of flour, let them sit out for an hour, and that the liquid from the chicken and the flour, it like crusts itself.
Ah.
The best I've ever had.
Do you bread them after that, or is that just the only thing you do?
That's the only, and then we toss them with whatever sauce we want to do, but just naked, and then just quite literally just a little baby flour.
Awesome. Michael, I love you to pieces, man.
Love you too.
Can't wait to see you soon when we visit Austin again. And
Yes, I'm gonna come up. I'm gonna come see y'all. We're gonna, yeah, and I'm also going to talk you into running one of these crazy races.
okay.
How far?
Yeah, it depends on how far. I'm good for about 400 meters.
I'll find one. I'll find one.
Thank you, everybody.